We're good? All right, we are going to reconvene for the purpose of a report from Executive Director Barrow on office financial management. And let's go ahead, if we could get a motion to roll these next few items into one. We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. And all in favor signify by aye. Aye. And opposed. Okay, the floor is yours, sir.
Again, thank you very much. Just maybe start off, I do have a considerable amount of items today, and just one general comment on all these bond transactions. We do have dates, and the best available information was put in the packet, but the market, much like the equity market, is completely dislodged. We are seeing some transactions get out in price. It's starting to open up, and actually rates have stabilized some, partly the Fed buying in the market, and partly just the massive outflows. So just the timing of all these transactions is really subject to change day to day. Sure. The first item I have for consideration is the Kentucky Economic Development Finance Authority. This is for Christian care communities. It is a conduit transaction, so there's no legal liability or requirement for KEDFA or the state to service the debt. They're just accessing the bond market through KEDFA as a conduit issuer. There's quite a few properties in that this transaction is for, and that's in the packet. Happy to take any questions, and it is scheduled for pricing in May, but again, these are all subject to change.
Senator McDaniel.
Mr. Chairman, this is the last of the questions I had, so
No.
it's good to have Ryan here. Ryan, on this healthcare facilities revenue bonds, is that a pool that could have conceivably been used in this University of Louisville transaction versus the way we approached it, or is this does it have some unique requirements?
I'm not exactly sure I understand the question. We do have U of L for another item.
They're further on down here,
yes.
But in essence, it looks like KEDFA has a mechanism where people can borrow money through them to execute transactions, much like would have been used at Jewish, or am I incorrect with that?
Yes. So primarily, KEDFA can issue, my understanding is statutorily, but KEDFA in this instance is just a conduit. So this is an outside third party that would access through the KEDFA conduit. KEDFA could issue, my understanding is can issue bonds statutorily. However, the bonds for U of L is serviced by the general funds, who traditionally go through state prop.
Gotcha. And then secondarily to your earlier comment about the markets right now, it's my anticipation that we're probably going to have several deals that came through this committee initially that are going to probably look a little bit different once they're actually executed, particularly some of these conduit transactions with private finance mixed in with them. I mean, do you anticipate that we're going to see some changes to things that we've already preliminarily approved?
I mean, the answer is yes, because the market has changed. I believe we had originally, Eastern Kentucky University would be an example. They were originally on the agenda, and we had to pull it because we believe that there'll be some changes. So if it is a state issuer, you know, we would do like we did for Eastern and pull it and make sure we present the correct structure. There's a little bit more of these conduits where the state's not a liability. You know, we traditionally allow some flexibility in those transactions. And then we would follow up with a report that would show you the final pricing guidelines.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. All righty. Please continue. We'll just let you move on since we rolled them in. If you want to kind of report on item number B, if there's no any questions.
Yes, this transaction should look somewhat familiar. It is State Property and Buildings Commission Project 123. This will be a taxable series to provide the $35 million in general fund support that was approved in House Bill 99 for U of L to acquire Jewish and some of the other associated assets. This is for basically operating for them. So given that it's operating, it has to be taxable as well as a loan. So that's why we listed it there as taxable. The interest rates, again, have changed considerably, but at the time we ran this cash flow, it was just under 4% negotiated transaction with Citi, and the balance of the financing team is in the packet.
Any questions on item number B? If not, we'll move into item number C, Murray State University.
Great. This is another transaction, general receipts transactions to refund, I believe, 2011 Series A and C. This is a refunding for economic savings. The split is about 4.6 million Series A and about 6.2 in Series C, with the net present value savings of Series A just under $500,000 and about $312,000 for Series C. This will be a competitive sale, and financing team and the cash flows are in the packet.
All right, any questions on that item? If not, we'll move to item number D, the Asset Liability Commission General Fund.
Yes, this is a little bit of a unique transaction, so just a little bit of background. The state, the Commonwealth, has one derivative transaction. This was done a number of years ago, and at the time, it made economic sense because it was a lower interest rate. I've never been a big fan of derivatives, and certainly this has proved, normally when we do a bond transaction, we do our post-issuance compliance and pay debt service. But this is the one that we've had to do some work with. It originally was entered into a transaction with Citigroup, 2008. Citigroup had financial issues, and there's various rating requirements that could have been tripped in the legal documents. It was moved to Deutsche Bank, and they're the counterparty in this derivative, and they're having some financial issues. They've been a series of downgrades, and we have been watching this for over a year. And when we ran the cash flows, it's kind of a day-to-day pricing. We believe that at no cost to the Commonwealth, we could terminate the three swap agreements, and basically get out of it. So while this is a refunding, we are not getting the traditional economic savings just by the nature of a derivative. The termination payment basically offsets the savings of interest rates. But this is for a de-risking. We thought it would be prudent if we could get out at no cost and go to a fixed rate instead of a synthetic fixed rate, we would do that. So this is probably, of all the transactions we'll bring for you, this is probably the most day-to-day because it also matters where the taxable market and tax exempt is. But we feel that a de-risking and getting out at no is, as much as a zero savings. I think it was a couple $100,000 when we ran it originally, but that's the uniqueness of this transaction.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions? If not, we can, okay, we'll go ahead and do that, and we'll do item number 2 separately. We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second by Senator Mills. Madam Secretary, please call roll.
Senator Carroll, Senator Girdler, Senator McDaniel, Senator Mills, Representative Pratt, Representative Rudy, Representative Sorolis, Chairman Thomas.
Aye. All right, one more. We got the previous debt, so we'll let you go ahead and report on that.
Yes, as a follow-up item, this is a traditional conduit housing transaction for Chapel House Apartments located in Louisville, Kentucky. The date of sale was the 10th of March, and the net proceeds was about $13.5 million. Information about the project and cost of issuance is in your packet.
All right, that was more for information only. Is there any questions? All right, if not, we'll move to item number C, and we just have 2, so I'll entertain a motion to roll those together. If so, do we have a motion and a second? Second. All in favor signify by aye. Aye. All right, we'll go ahead and hear about Davis County and Madison County.
Yes, both new money transactions. We will probably see less refundings for the foreseeable future. The SFCC portion was just over 1% estimated par, with the locals being about 99%. Total par for both issuance combined is $88.3 million, and no tax increase is necessary to fund either project.
All right. Do we have any questions? If not, Madam's away needed a motion. We're going to get through this time. So, do we have a second? Come on, Philip. Up, passing to Robbie there. So, all right. Madam Secretary, please call roll.
Senator Carroll, Senator Girdler, Senator McDaniel, Senator Mills, Representative Pratt, Representative Rudy, Representative Sorolas, Chairman Thomas.
Aye. All right. That moves. Well, we appreciate it. Hopefully you have a less busy day today, and we'll entertain another motion for adjournment. And a second. All right. Thank you.
Thank you all.